Tonight, we're opening up a cold case file. But this is one of those cases that really blurs the line between a missing persons investigation and a straight-up haunting. It's the story of a disappearance that's wrapped an entire community in fear for decades. This is the unsolved case of Mohini.
For the people who live there, this isn't just some old folktale. No, this is a real, genuine fear. It all comes from a story that they believe is just as true today as it was years ago. They say Mohini was once alive, and maybe, just maybe, she still is.
So, to really get what's going on, we have to start with the facts. Let's open the official police file from 1998 and go right back to the moment this whole thing started. So, who was Mohini? Well, according to what villagers told investigators, she was a young woman living in a pretty small, remote village. And she was known for two things: her stunning beauty and the fact that she was always silent. Villagers said she really kept to herself, hardly ever talking to anyone. But here's the really weird detail. She was often spotted walking near the edge of the jungle, and always at night.
And then, one night in 1998, she just vanished. Poof. Gone. There were no signs of a fight, no note, nothing at all left behind. The police, they did a massive search of the village and the jungle around it, but they found absolutely nothing. Not a single trace of her. With zero leads to follow, the investigation just stopped. And Mohini's case was officially closed. For years, that was it. Silence. The official file just sat there, collecting dust. But back in the village, a whole new chapter of this story was just starting to unfold, one that you can't just file away in a police cabinet.
It started out small, A whisper here, a nervous look there. People in the village started talking about strange sightings, and all of these stories seemed to have the same unsettling details.
People kept describing the same thing: a young woman wearing a white dress standing right at the edge of the jungle, the exact same place Mohini used to walk. And these sightings, they only ever happened after dark. But the strangest part is what people said happened when they tried to get closer. They all reported this bizarre, sharp pain in their eyes that made them have to look away.
So what do you think happens when that pain finally goes away and they can manage to look back at the spot where they saw her?
She's not there anymore. Just like that. As quickly as she appeared, she's gone. Vanished right back into the darkness of the jungle.
Okay, so the story could have just ended right there, as a creepy piece of local folklore. But then, in 2016, something happened that dragged this legend kicking and screaming into the modern world, and the consequences were terrifying.
The year is 2016. That's 18 years after Mohini first disappeared.
A YouTuber, basically a modern-day paranormal investigator, shows up in the village. He's determined to get some kind of proof of this legend. He's got his cameras, and he's hoping to actually film the ghost of Mohini for his channel.
So he sets up all his gear, and he points a camera directly at that infamous jungle's edge. And what they say was found on that camera, well, it's the core of this whole incident. Around 2 in the morning, the camera's motion sensor clicks on. It starts recording. At first, it just catches a faint shadow, but then it clears up into the unmistakable figure of a girl.
But the detail from that footage that will give you chills is where this figure was looking. She wasn't just standing there. According to the people who've seen the tape, she was looking straight into the camera lens. The next morning, a search party makes a really grim discovery. The camera is right there, still standing on its tripod, footage and all. But the YouTuber, the cameraman himself, was gone. And just like Mohini all those years before, he vanished without a trace. It's like a new name was just added to an old, terrifying mystery. He was never seen again.
So this second disappearance, it pretty much cemented the legend into a hard and fast rule for everyone in that village. The fear wasn't just a story anymore. It was a survival guide. To this day, the locals share a piece of advice, a warning that's been passed down to every kid, every new resident. If you're near the jungle after dark and you hear what sounds like a girl's voice calling out, whatever you do not turn around to look. So, what's the real truth here? Was Mohini a tragic victim who met a terrible end in that jungle? Or is her spirit now the one causing these tragedies? The official case file is still cold. It's still unsolved. But the locals, they're pretty sure they know the answer. And they'll warn you, if you hear that voice from the jungle, it could be her. It could be Mohini.